On today's quick video, I'll try to keep it quick. We're going to talk about epiphyllums. Epiphyllums is another succulent orchid plant. Very nice. They give some really beautiful flowers. I wish I had some flowers to show you guys, but they're all mad at me right now. But this is basically a cutting right here. I'm missing one. And people usually, they have names. They have a lot of names. A lot of them, I don't know about keeping some with lineage. None of mine have lineage. Lineage is like, say Mark Supple breeds these two beautiful ones and gets this crazy beautiful flower on from their kids. He has the right to name it, and he will call it whatever he wants. And if you get it from him, you should take note of the name and keep the name going. But for me, I don't care. Red flower, pink flower. Like this one's dark orange. This one's dark pink. This one was told to me it's red, and this is a small little pink. This is really nice, little pink round flowers. Okay, so these two I got them in the trade. I sent them a bunch of e-hookery, and they gave me and my neighbor some cuttings. Pretty awesome. But these two, I got them at the swap meet, and I've been having them for a while. Actually been saving them for the video, but before they start getting uglier, I'm gonna go ahead and show you how I cut them up and how I prepare them to for the potting soil. And you see this one's already a little bit calloused up, and looks like they just yanked it apart. And that's what you want. You want some of this dark brown stuff to show. That's where the roots are going to grab, so I don't have to do anything right here. But I'm going to cut this guy into two pieces. Generally, I would cut this into three, but since the plant's kind of been getting thrown around in my crap, I'm just going to cut it in half. And what I like to do is keep this node right here. This is where like a flower or another branch will bloom. I like to cut that right there, straight across. Very tough. Make sure you have some sharp, sterile scissors. I love these titanium guys. I use them for everything. And so this is done. This will callus over. I'm gonna go ahead and use some rooting compound on it. Just sprinkle some on there. Not that it's gonna root, but it's also like an antifungal and helps it dry up faster. That way I could plant it in a couple of days instead of 2 weeks that I'm supposed to wait. Whatever. Now you get this. This is gonna be another piece in the ground. Since it's flat, you can go ahead and leave it flat and it'll root. But I like to cut and expose a little bit more of the inner parts. So from this node to the bottom, I'll go ahead and do a cut right here. And from this node to the bottom, I'll do another cut right here as well. The reason I do that is if it grows another leaf, it will grow directly from there, and I want that leaf to come out with roots as well. And this one, no, you know what, I don't have to do anything. I was gonna shave off some of it to expose that woody part of it, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna sprinkle some, what is this? This is take root, some rooting hormone. And that's it. You know, it's clean, nice cut. You don't have to worry about anything else. Okay, well, you kind of do. Do not put them anywhere where they might get moist or get hit by direct sunlight. I have them under a plant rack, under a bunch of plants, or sometimes I even take them inside and leave them in the cupboard in the kitchen. I don't like to do that because I will forget them and they'll get all nasty. So there's that. Now, these guys, I don't want to cut them. I don't want to cut them, and they've been sitting here. This one is already, oh no, it was not roots. It's getting like gross. You know what, I'm gonna go ahead and cut this from the bottom. There. The thing is that I guess it got wet when I watered some of the orchids. I didn't think that the water would go all the way through, and I wouldn't want it to start rotting away. It'll start turning like a dark brown color and just melt the entire cutting, the entire leaf. Again, dipped in rooting hormone and set it and forget it. This guy is, I figure it's a very old leaf that she cut for me, since it has this brown stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and show you one of my older plants. Not really my older plants, I just picked it up a couple months back. This guy, beautiful, beautiful monster, and it gives these really, really big peach colored blooms. But as you can see, this is new growth. It is bright green and weird looking. And this is the older, the guy at the nursery had them in the sun until I told them to move them all. And right away, they just grew these really big leaves. And I brought one of them home. I actually brought home 3, but I brought this guy home. But as you can see, the older leaves usually get calloused up and woody in there. It doesn't mean they're dead. So when you see them all woodied out like that, you know, give them a little bit more time. Give them a little bit more love. You know, throw them in the shade under a tree somewhere and give them plenty of water, and they'll just bounce right back. The thing about these is you can't really give them a lot of water when they don't have roots. If they don't have roots and you're wetting them, it'll just go inside the pores of the leaf and rot away. So you want it to have leaves at first. And I'm gonna go ahead and pot these guys up. This is, again, nothing special. Patio Plus, Perlite, and that's it. You don't need nothing spectacular. I had some smaller pots when I would plant these single leaflets, but I don't know where they're at. Thing is that they like being root bound, and what that means is the roots just have nowhere else to go, and they'll start entangling in each other into a ball. And that's what these guys like. You see that how my big plant was in a big pot? It's been very unhappy for a long time, and I have to put it in a smaller pot. There it is. This one's taken care of. This guy I will not cut in half because I have had lots of bad luck trying to grow this guy from a cutting. It feels like every year I buy it from the same lady and I always kill it. So I brought home one for me and one for my neighbor this time. Hopefully one of us gets a plant out of it. If not, I'm gonna, I don't know what to do. Let me find another. Well, I don't have a clean pot for this, but let me show you some that I potted last time. These used to be very thick and nice and beautiful, but they have roots already. And, well, except for this guy. Oh yeah, it does have roots. And once they're potted up like this, I like to leave it in the shade where it gets no sun. I actually put it in a little cupboard, and I water it about once every 2 weeks or so, sometimes even longer if it's really cold and water. Like when I got this, it rained for a couple of days, so I didn't water it that entire week. But the soil is dry. It will get ugly and dehydrated, but it's growing roots. They needed that period of being very, very dry. They think they're dying, so they just sprout roots. Other people have rooted them in just pure perlite and water, and they get results. I've also seen some people rooting them in just water, in a full water culture glass. I don't understand that. I've tried doing that a couple of times to my own plants, and it just did not grab. So I'm doing this. This works for me, and that's what I recommend people to do. I'll pot this one up later. So that's about it. They're easy to take care of. Some can take direct sunlight, like the one that blooms at night. I think my neighbor has it right by her south facing wall, and it is an enormous plant. We just cut around 20 cuttings, and it's still so huge, and it's still giving blooms. A very big and healthy plant, and they just put it on the ground and it just started growing. So that's it for today. I told you it was going to be a short video. Thank you. Comments, please subscribe, and that's it. Thank you.